Hi, Steve with Jbrc Race Cars. What I've got laid out in front of us here is an assortment of brake pads, both for front and rear. While here at Jbrc we stock Lamb, Mark Williams, Strange, and Willwood brakes, we also try to keep components that you'll need to keep your brakes working well and keep you stopping safely. In our catalog here, we kind of break it down and try to show almost every individual pad that we have, or at least by outer profile, how it's held in the caliper, physical size and that, as well as a chart under the Willwood, Strange, Mark Williams, and Lamb that I spoke about to help you identify your pad. Be honest with you, I can't believe the number of people that call in, and while they might know they have brakes on their car, really don't know much past that. Generally, if they know the brand of strut that's on the front of the car, that helps us know that it's primarily probably got that brand of caliper on it. And on the rear of the car, you know, sometimes they have to work with us or whatever to be sure that we get them the right pad. Obviously, there's a difference between the steel brakes and the carbon brakes that I can show you, but mainly just wanted to show you all the different basically sizes, sometimes contour to the caliper, radius like this versus flat cut across the bottom, the different methods of holding them in. While you might have a brake pad that has a small hole like this in the top and it's retained with a cotter pin going from inboard and outboard side of the caliper, you may have something with a larger bolt hole like this, and that uses what I'll refer to as a bridge bolt, meaning the design of the caliper uses sometimes a single or dual bolt that goes across, primarily probably from the front side of the caliper, threading into the rear caliper, or possibly passing all the way through with a nut on it. Again, that's just to retain or hold the pads in place, and as you can see, it, you know, this particular one floats. This happens to be a carbon set in here, so the carbon set uses a titanium plate between the pistons and the pads themselves to dissipate the heat off the pistons themselves. This is a Lamb caliper, obviously, with their name on it. Rebuild kits for the calipers. While I'm talking about that, we carry the O-rings and necessary parts for if you need to overhaul a caliper, as well as sometimes if a caliper gets damaged, maybe the bleeder screw broke, or you know, you got a thread related problem where the caliper mounts to the mounting bolt off the caliper bracket on the rear end housing. There's inserts that go in there. We try to keep, again, all these parts in stock, or you know, we're on top of being able to get a hold of the brake company and get them to send you what you need to get your brakes fixed. Again, while I was showing you many different styles of pads, carbon ones having heat dissipation plates on the back of them. Some of the early front pads like this were the round puck design. Things you need to look at or be careful of is there's a step in the pad. One may go on the outboard side of the caliper with one size step, while the inboard side next to the piston may have a larger or deeper step than this cut into the pad. This particular pad, widely used in the Willwood, it had in the piston itself, it had a threaded female hole for a little stainless screw to go in to retain the pad and keep it held up to the piston. So again, the reason I'm showing you this is many of the calipers have obviously names wrote on them, sometimes numbers on the calipers themselves for the series of caliper, but by the layout that I have here and hopefully what we have on our website and our catalog, it'll help you pick out, find the correct pad for your application. Just paying, like I said, close attention to outer profile of the metal itself, the pad material bonded to the metal, and just the design. Even deal with different thicknesses sometimes of pad material. So if it's got to stop in your race car and you need help with brakes as well as kits, obviously we sell, or this hardware, give us a call. We like to think we have the components in stock to help you get stopped.